Hi guys, Harry Yotis here, professional trader for 20 years. Started my career in 2005 and still alive in 2026. Well, today we are here. This candle right here on a chart of the S&P 500. We always look at the S&P 500. Okay, the market is the most important thing. First step, always. And today is Tuesday, March the 24th, okay? Yesterday, we had a big update because Trump came out over the weekend and said he's interested in negotiations with Iran. And the market ripped, but not that much. Maybe ripped. I exaggerate. It's up 1%. And today, boom, down. Okay, why? Is this bullish or bearish? This is the most confusing day ever. It really confuses both bulls and bears. Okay, the bulls were hoping for a follow through after yesterday's good news. And the bears today were hoping for that news to be, dismissed and going all the way down. Instead, we're just down like minus 0.3%. It's nothing. Okay, we're basically open down on some, war news. Okay, and then came back and finished basically halfway throughout the high and the low of the day. So this is very confusing. Bullish or bearish? Okay, we'll get to that later. I'm going to lay down my case. But first, let's talk about the technical picture. The technical picture, because we recovered this 653 area here, which is big. Okay, it's a big area. Look, this area, very tough here to break. It tried once, it didn't. It tried twice, it didn't. It tried 3 times, it did. Maybe it's a bear trap. We don't know. Okay, so this is a big area of support, and we finished slightly above it. So I'm going to say we're on the border of neutral and bearish. I'm going to say we're bearishly neutral, but we have to pick one. So let's bring in the moving averages. We are trading below the 200, so that's bearish, but we're above this, so it's neutral. And we're just slightly under the 200-day moving average. So I'm going to say neutral still. Okay, let's be positive and say neutral. Okay, let's get rid of the moving averages so we can see better. But really, we're right on the cusp, and it's confusing. Are we bullish or bearish? Okay, we'll get to that soon. Of course, we look at the sentiment, and nothing has changed. We're still at extreme fear, and this is what leads me to believe that we should be saying this is neutral and not bearish, because right at the cusp of huge support, and we're very, very extremely fearful, and everything, all the sub-indices, put-call ratio, everything is like at extremes, okay, on the negative. So everybody's positioned. Everybody thinks the market's going to go down. That's it. That's how they're positioned. And that's why I'm waiting for a bounce. I'm still waiting for a bounce to happen. And yes, this could be like after this big down move flush on high volume, we have lower volume here on this candle that is confusing. That's another notch in the belt of the rally camp, which I am in. Okay, and this could be seen as a retest of the lows before going high. Okay, so the sentiment is an extremely fearful territory, and I'm really, really leaning bullish on a big bounce here. Okay, why bullish or bearish? Okay, well, why did we open up lower after Monday's big move? Well, we had this news in the morning. Iranian missiles pound Israel overnight after U.S. claims progress on talks. Okay, so Tehran appoints Larijani as a successor, cuts gas flows to Turkey. So very bad news. The market opened down. Okay, but still, if you went down throughout the day, we would get positive news. And here on CNBC, which is basically the consensus news station, which says Trump says U.S. and Iran are in negotiations right now. Tehran is talking sense. So we mentioned this is right at, look, 354, right before the close. Okay, so bad news in the morning, right before the close, good news. Okay, and the reason I like this is because it's choppy. We're chopping at the bottom, retesting the bottom before probably going higher. Okay, and because everybody's super, super bearish. Okay, very few bulls out there, which I like. That's why I think we go higher. We have the news that is bearish. We're reacting to it. We're reacting to bad news in the morning. So we're not fully like at the stage where bad news leads to a market ripping. Okay, that means we're probably at the lows. Okay, so here we're reacting to it, but not that much. It's very, very muted. People are still, I think people are starting to get exhausted on the short side. Okay, so let me build my case, bullish or bearish. Okay, let's start with oil. Okay, oil yesterday, as you can see, we had a big bearish engulfing, and today we tried to rally, but it's back down to like $88 a barrel. Okay, we're getting hit on oil. Okay, so I think this bearish engulfing candle plays out. It's not, if it would get negated if we had a couple of days of green and goes higher. But I think that because we're hovering near the lows, this bearish engulfing candle is going to play out. And I'm looking more aggressively now to enter short call spreads, especially very, very short call spreads, and maybe finance a put with a call spread. Okay, like a short the call spread, long a put, maybe out of the money. Okay, so maybe it'll be some type of neutral type trade. That's what I'm looking to do here, because that's what I think the move is going forward. Because even when you're negotiating for peace, you're still gonna, have these kinds of headlines. Like missiles are still gonna be firing. Okay, you're not gonna just stop aggressiveness on either side because you're just talking. Okay, that's just stupid. You're talking for peace while the war is still going on. It's not a reason to sell the market, in my opinion. Okay, and if you bring in the moving averages here, we closed below the 10, we said yesterday. So usually these people that bought the breakout, this is a rule to get out after the 10, and an extreme rule would be to get out underneath the 20. I think if we close beneath the 20, all of these guys are going to be out, and that's it. All of these momentum guys are going to be out. So I just don't think, that's just a technical picture, but I think fundamentally, once we start talking about peace, the Straits of Hormuz are going to be open, concessions are going to start happening. Both parties we mentioned don't want the war, so I think it starts going down. Okay, but what do other sectors of the market? What about the leading sectors of the market say? Okay, semiconductors. Okay, let's get rid of the moving averages for now. Just look at this chart. Is this bearish to you? Does this look bearish at all to you? This looks like a normal down move. Look, up, higher highs, higher lows. This is still a higher high, higher low. We're consolidating after a down move. It looks to be going up after. And this is after a very, very extreme negative sentiment in the market. The leading semiconductor index is showing extreme strength. Okay, just from the naked eye. You don't have to have any technical analysis experience to know that this is a very, very bullish chart. Okay, it's the most bullish. I mean, if you look at financials, they are not. They're just like the market. They're down about the same as the market. Okay, so this is what the market is saying, and it's at lows. Okay, we also look, which is financials are also like if the financials do well, the market does well. Okay, what about discretionary? Consumer discretionary, it's almost the same chart as the financials. So those two indices, ETFs, market sectors, mirror the SPY. Okay, it's the exact same picture. Exact same picture. So they're just telling you that, okay, those guys are at the same level as the SPY, but the leading indicator, the SMH, it looks much, much better. What about the QQQs? Okay, we rarely talk about the QQQs, which is tech. This chart looks like after a big move, you're consolidating sideways and you're at support. Okay, that's all you have to see right here. Big support after a down move that is at extremely negative sentiment. This bodes well for a long. Okay, so I think the tech sector is looking okay. The semiconductor sector is looking better than ever. Not better than ever, better than the rest, and very, very strong, better than the others, I should say. And we have oil forming this negative pattern. And look, as we're seeing, it's being trading right now as I'm writing this, because it trades after 4 p.m. when the market closes. But it's confirming the fact that the bearish engulfing candle is playing out, and you have the fundamentals starting to switch into risk on mode. Like both parties are talking and want this war to end. So this is beautiful. This is what you want to see. Okay, so this is why, let's reiterate, I think that even though the technical short term are on the cusp of neutral and bearish, we have sentiment washed out. Okay, very bad news coming out. Bad news of like shelling coming out. It's not really moving the market. It's down very small. And we have Trump here being conciliatory at the end. Despite missiles flying, we have Trump saying that we're still going to negotiate. Okay, because like we said, in a war, you negotiate and the war still continues. It only ends when the negotiations are complete. Then the missiles start flying. Okay, so that's why I like this picture. We see the leading semiconductor index looking very, very good. Just a consolidation, higher highs, higher lows before an up move. We have, yes, other sectors that are just mirroring the SPY, mainly financials and consumer discretionary, are pretty much mirroring the SPY. So you can just say that whatever happens with the SPY is going to happen with these guys. And we have the QQQs looking fairly good. It's not that bad. It hasn't broken really. It didn't get that bear trap that we saw on the SPY. Okay, they're behaving slightly better than the SPY in this case. They actually held the support. Whereas if you look at SPY, it undercut it for a bit. if you want to be technical. Okay, so I mean, you have these sectors leading. You have oil looking bad. Bad meaning good for the market. Down oil means positive for the market. And I think we're very, very washed out and looking for an up move. Okay, so that's my thoughts, guys. I'll see what happens. Let's see what happens going forward. I think we bounce. We bounce and we probably hit the 673 level on the SPY. That's my first target. Okay, and if negotiations do happen, we might hit this 73, go down a bit because it is resistance right now. Go down maybe halfway between this move, and then if peace happens, boom, we rip the new highs. That is what I expect to happen going forward. So, of course, everything could change if everybody says peace talks are off, but it looks like they want to sincerely end this war. Okay, so let's see what happens going forward, guys. Later.